What's going on, guys? MDLP from the Battle Axe, the strongman gym in Miami, where strength is everything. Finally making a video after 16,000 years of not making a video. I've honestly been slacking with it. I don't want to say distracted, but maybe focused on other things like training, growing the business, and competing. I have a lot more competitors now, so I feel that I've really been slacking on making what I thought I was pretty good at, or at least really good at bullshitting, which is making YouTube videos. And I'm going to try my best, and I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm trying my best at least to make 1 or 2 a week as I train for my second trip to nationals, which I think is a pretty big deal for me to actually, not only to make it back, but to go in with the momentum that I'm going with now. Some of you, I'm gonna take this hat off because it is literally 16,000 fucking degrees here and my balls are sweating. I didn't mean to get graphic, but whatevs. So I'm gonna try to do the best I can to make weekly videos about what's coming up. I just did a Platinum Plus about 3 weeks ago, which I'm gonna make a video about exactly how I felt, what happened, what I got out of it. Maybe some of you guys will eventually go to Plat Plus. I know the veterans there were like, been there 4 or 5 times, but for me it was an experience in the sense that it gave me a reality check in the sense of where I can be, and it actually made me a lot more confident rather than breaking me. So I took 3 aspects into going into the next 8 to 9 weeks going into nationals. I don't know if you guys can see it. I try to draw it as big as possible. This is a shit ton of programming, a bunch of like Viking scratch and doctor's handwriting. Mentality, reality, and ambition. These are 3 things that I'm taking into account, and I've driven into my psyche going into this fucking training camp for myself. I'm still working with my coach, Alan Colley at Iron House. I'm changing my nutrition with my friend Marty, the Design by Performance guys I tag. I'm still keeping it very simple, but a couple things that I've changed that actually falls into this concept. Mentality, what I mean by mentality is that the way that I'm going into this, I keep saying I'm out of practice. The way I'm going into this competition, the way I'm going into nationals is with a lot more fervor. I'm no longer in this kind of like, oh man, I'm so excited to go, it's gonna be awesome, I'm just gonna go rub one out, I can't wait to get there. Not really. My mentality is that I need to be top 10 and I want to make it to the Arnolds. That's the idea of my mentality. It has a little bit more courage behind it. It's a little bit hungrier. And those concepts to me is that the mentality has completely changed from a rookie or somebody who's really green just to be there to somebody where I think, fuck man, I really deserve to be the top 10, or I worked really hard and I want top 10. So I understand that a lot of guys out there are gonna try to compete for top 10. I took 15th last year, and I want better. So my mentality is a little bit hungrier, a little bit more tenacious. And in that aspect, my mentality being changed, it leads me to the idea of reality in the sense of what is it that I need to change to be real? What is a real concept? What is a real goal? Is top 10 a real goal for me? Fuck yeah, to me it is. It's realistic. I mean, I took 8th in a Plat Plus where there was a lot of top level competitors. I understand nationals is nationals. And I'm not gonna be, down on myself. I think a real top 10 goal, top 10 finish is reality to me. I also think that my nutrition was shit, so I took a reality check, got on a proper diet, cutting fat, and I don't longer need to cut 25, 26 pounds, which I cut for these last couple times. Put more effort into that, into different things that I knew I needed to change, some certain things on training that I need to work harder. There's certain things that I need to work harder on instead of being a fucking asshole or just slacking on it. That's the idea of reality. What is it that's a real, not only a real goal, but real concepts of getting there? So these ideas to me are, the car's pulling up in the middle of the night. But in Miami, who knows? If you hear gunshot, fuck it, right? I'll just get a sword and kill everybody. I might. So, and that leads me to my last point, which is ambition. So in the idea of reality, there has to be a dreamer inside of you, not to get kind of funny, no homo, but there has to be something that you reach for that's ambitious and that is beyond your concept of reality. For me, that would be top 5 finish. It would be a trip to the nationals. It would be a trip to Arnold's, to be with the top 5 in the nation, which I tell the people, maybe making it to nationals is not hard, but being top 5, top 10, maybe even top 20, depending on the 231 class, which I think is very competitive, is a big fucking deal. So yeah, a lot of guys are like, oh, it's no big deal to get there. I'm like, you're right, but to do well at it is a big deal. And if it's light, then you should be, no question, the fastest motherfucker there. And this year's not really light, but that's a separate subject, separate video. So in this year, and my ambition is the guy that makes the videos, the guy who is borderline cocky and talks a lot of shit. I want top 5. I want the fucking Arnolds. Fuck, I want champion. Fuck, if everything goes right, that would be great. What can I do? How hard can I push myself every week? How much food can I eat? How much sleep can I get? These certain concepts, this ambition as I get closer to nationals is the thing that drives me and builds my confidence and builds my engine. Even as silly as stupid hashtags, which I understand that I can be the king of fucking ridiculous hashtags sometimes, but there's certain things that build my ambition, build my confidence, who I reach out to, certain videos, certain speeches when I go off on these fucking tangents. So all these things, I think, are breaking down into exactly who I've become as a competitor. You know, I've been at this for almost 4 years, competitively for over three, and I feel like the last year has really shown a lot of growth, a lot of hardships as far as, you know, injuries and shit like that, but I've made a lot of good friends, good training partners, good experiences. And yeah, I can't say that I've been around as long as some of these guys, but I've been competing in sports and contact sports for almost 8 years. So this concept here, I think I've kind of put finally into the sport that I love, which is strongman. And you have to have a proper mentality. Every time you go into a comp, I feel like this part constantly changes, especially all three. But really the mentality has to change to what the goal is, to what you're trying to pursue. Going for a Plat Plus or a Pro card, every time you go to a new battle, you have to evolve your mentality, whether it's whatever you're trying to focus on, the way you're tenacious, the way you wake up, the way you dress, whatever. Your mentality has to be a little different, maybe hungrier or whatever, maybe more angry. Whatever it is that motivates you has to start to evolve and to change. Reality will change, because the reality last year was to do the best that I can, which is top 20. This year, my reality is top 10. It is a reality for me because last year's numbers were, holy shit, that's a 700-pound yoke. That's scary. 275 or 55-pound farmers were, wow, I hope I can do it. Now it's 310. I'm like, how fast can I do it? How fast can I go? What top 10 place finish can I do to get better points? My reality has changed. It's become better in a sense of how far I've come in the sport. And lastly, my ambition. My ambition probably the least change of here, in the sense that I'm always going to go into a competition very ambitious, very confident. At any given day, I've written it on certain comments on Facebook or whatever. On any given day, I think I can win any fucking competition. And that's just the way that I go into battle. Fuck, if some guy, unfortunately, I hope never, but gets injured or falls or trips, I've seen it. They drop the yoke, they make weird mistakes, and I don't make any fucking mistakes, and I win that competition. On any given day, if you work hard enough, you can fucking win. And after Plat Plus being so fucking close to finishing top 4, I realized, shit, man, I can really make a difference if I continue with this kind of ambitious personality, this ambitious outlook that I hope rubs off. No homo. Unless, yeah, homo. So, wait. And then you can continue to just show people that you're not necessarily cocky or arrogant, but that you're ambitious. And that this sense of ambition does come from a fucking strong mentality and a sense of reality. So these three concepts I'm going to continue to throw in my mind, and that's what I normally write about, talk about. It's kind of the personality behind the concept of competitive training for myself, and what I try to do for my clients as best as possible. So I'll try to make more videos. Fuck, I'm really shitty for not making more, but thank you to even people who are still subscribed. Holy shit. But that's all I got for now, and cheers, and I hope you enjoy that.